and welcome to the live check-in update. I'm Abby Maucha, and in this short 30 minutes maximum series, we talk about how you can get started on what you're working on right now. When you start your business, it's just you. There is no one to motivate you, there's no one to prompt you, there's no one to keep you focused. And you do need to take accountability and take that initiative to own your own business, to own your own activities, own your own task, get more serious. That sounds easier saying it, but like motivating yourself, it's not exactly the easiest thing. It's not like you just wake up one day and go, "Ooh, I'm motivated, I'm gonna get it all done." Sometimes you need a little bit of help, right? And so yeah, it's so hard to like wake up one day and just go, "I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna get this done. I have my checklist. I'll get everything done like every single day." Nah, maybe like the first day or the second day. By the third day, you just sort of drop out, and your motivation level is just gonna go like, boom, tanks off. So yeah, now we're gonna like really push you to take accountability to be more productive by giving you quick and actionable tips that you can get started on immediately. So our guest today is Tarnya Coley, and she's from TC Coaching, and she will be sharing with us some motivational tips that we can start using now, immediately, not tomorrow, not like let me plan for this, give me a preparation time, none of that. Give us tips that we can use now, so you have no excuse to hear yourself anymore. So hi,
Tarnya. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that short 5 seconds intro, and then you can introduce yourself and tell us your tips. All right?
Okay, fantastic. So
hi. Sorry for cutting you off.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, but now you can introduce Tarnya Coley to us.
Okay, so thank you, Abby, for having me on this amazing group for her empire. I absolutely love that name. A supportive group for females to launch and grow their business. What a great thing to do, to be able to serve your clients. That's absolutely fantastic, Abby. So I'm absolutely loving it. I'm here. My name's Tarnya, and I'm all the way from Manchester, England, and I'm super excited to be in this space. I have a coaching business, and I've been running that since 2018. I also have a couple of books that are out available on Amazon, and I also am a speaker as well. So thank you for having me, Abby.
Oh, nice to have you. Nice to have you. And so today we're talking about motivation. You shared us motivational tips, which is amazing because you literally have like an entire book on motivation. So you're the pro here. Teach us your way, Sensei. Teach us.
What did you say, Abby?
No, teach us how to be more motivated. Okay. Like, yeah.
Yes, motivation. Absolutely love it. You've got to be motivated. When you're building your empire, you have to be motivated, because if you're not, who's going to be? And remember what I said before.
Somebody out there.
Yeah, it's about serving your clients. So you've got to keep building. So the first thing I always ask people to look at is their why. There's nothing like having a global pandemic to force you to reassess every aspect of your life. This is the time to look at your why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And that's really key and very, very important. Why do I do what I do? Why does Abby have this amazing platform? Because we want to serve people. So we've got to look at, if I want to serve people, I've got to be productive. And I want to share some tips on productivity, because it's the lockdown, we're in a pandemic, and sometimes we can be demotivated, not inspired anymore to do what we want to do, lack of motivation. But I'm here to encourage you to keep on going, because it's worth it. Okay, it is worth it. The first tip I want to share with you is prepare a schedule. So it's about preparing your schedule. And these things that I want to share with you it's things that we know already, but it's about, it's doing them and taking that action in doing what we need to do. Because sometimes there is this gap between the knowing and the doing. And we know it, but we don't always do it. I don't know if I'm talking to anybody. Does that resonate with anybody?
We plan on it, but it doesn't really manifest itself physically.
Exactly. And like Abby was sharing before we came on, this big word, I might do a video on this, procrastination. Oh my gosh, procrastination. It's the biggest killer. I'm telling you, yes, we can procrastinate from time to time, but if that's your modus operandi, where you just always procrastinate, how are you going to build your empire if you are always procrastinating? So it's about preparing a schedule. It's time to divorce procrastination, get rid of it.
Separate. It's easy to say that, though. It sounds like we go on procrastination and it like boom, disappears.
It's something that we have to work on. So this is what I'm going to give you some tips. Get a schedule. If you're not scheduling or you've become lapsed in scheduling, start scheduling. I'm encouraging and I'm challenging you to start scheduling. I do this the night before. Say, for example, tonight, I will schedule my whole week, which is like the vision. This is what I need to do for the whole week. And then I break it down. What do I need to do on Monday? I have 4 speaking engagements next week, and I've got some deadlines to make. So I know that on Monday, I have to be prepared for my 2 speaking engagements. I've got some training that I'm going to be delivering. So it's really important that I put down my priorities. So that's the key thing. What is important and what do I need to do? Like you just said, Abby, now. Not tomorrow, not later. What are the things that we need to be doing now? So that's one thing I want you to write down and to remember is to prepare a schedule. There's a saying that says, poor preparation prevents poor performance. So it's time to start scheduling, having if it's in your phone, you got to schedule whatever it is, whatever form you use it and use it well. Because this is the time where we want to make the most out of this year, because we have 7 weeks until the end of the year. That's plenty of time to get done what we need to get done, or be well on the way to achieve what we need to achieve. 7 weeks, come on, 31st December, we want to be able to say, look what I have achieved. And we will never, I don't feel, we will never get this time again where we've had 6 or 7 months off, being at home, doing what we're doing. In the UK, we are on a second lockdown. So we never get this time again. So this is the time to get productive, take some action steps, because I'm not being locked down for nothing, Abby. I don't know about you.
You're gonna come out of this and like, I accomplished all of this. I did this, I did this, I did this. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. I'm not being locked down for nothing. I want to leave 2020 knowing that I have accomplished what I needed to accomplish. Despite distraction, the constant negative news, all the stuff that's going on around us, we have to
every month focused. A negative thing happens every month.
And then we can be consumed by what's taking place and what is going on, even with things that don't really directly affect us. So what's really important, we've got to stay focused on our task. We've got to stay focused on building our empire. And how we're going to do that, the first thing is to prepare your schedule. And that's very, very important. And the next one is about priority. That's a key thing. We have to prioritize what it is that we need to do. So wherever you are, whether you're planning a business, take action and just start, because nothing will ever be perfect. If you're in the middle of your business, wherever you are on your business journey, whatever you're doing, do it well and prioritize. If you want to get things done, you have to prioritize. For me, everything's important. I've got to do things now. Everything's got to be done now. but that's not the way to be.
Yeah.
What you have to do is look at, what do I need to do now? What's priority? What are the deadlines that I have? And put those in priority order, because that way you're
Yeah.
going to be more focused. You're going to be able to then achieve what you need to achieve and get the most out of your day. And that's priority, because what you don't want to be doing is working around the clock.
Just
And
so
what's
you can say
important,
you're busy.
there's a song, I think it's the Seven Dwarfs, I think, busy doing nothing, working the whole day through. Okay, it's not about being busy, it's about being productive. And that's the key thing, because we don't have to cram everything in. I can say I'm going to work on 2 tasks today, and I know that by the end of the day those 2 tasks have been accomplished, as opposed to I'm doing 15 things and I've done half of them, or half of 15 things and nothing has been accomplished to beginning to end. And what's really important is, whilst you're doing your schedule and whilst you're prioritizing, is to prioritize yourself. I want you to write that down. That is so key. Prioritize yourself. I put a note in my diary and say time with myself. Okay, and that's so important. It's non-negotiable. I need to take time out for me, and that's very hard for me. That's why I need to schedule it, because I like to do lots of different things. I like to keep myself active, but I've really assessed myself. My friend phoned me. I got tested for COVID in the October, so for the whole of October I was out of it. And she said to me, "This is the time, Tarnya, where you need to start practicing being. You're a human, but you just need to start being. You've done what you've needed to do. Sit, relax, whether it's take a nice bath, put your feet up, watch a movie, do a crossword, a puzzle, whatever it is, and just be present, relax in that moment." Yeah. So that's very important.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's about finding that balance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like as female entrepreneurs, we want to work all the time. We want to like hustle all the time without any downtime, because somehow it's like this badge of honor. I have worked 40 hours a day. I did not take a downtime. I did not sleep. I'm being so productive. Like, damn it, woman, rest of it.
Yes, sometimes I read people's Facebook posts and it says things like, "I've been up since 5, I've had 15 Zooms, and now I've gone for a jog and I walked my dog and I've done," and I'm like, you're going to get burnt out.
Yeah, go sleep. It's a sandwich and sleep.
Yeah. So it is about finding that balance, Abby. It's about finding your balance as entrepreneurs, doing what you're doing, finding that balance. When I was a lecturer, I used to teach health and social care. And one aspect of it was teaching the students about PIES, which is an acronym. And I encourage entrepreneurs to take this on. It's about having that balance. And that PIES, the P is physical, taking care of your physical well-being. Okay. That is so important. Intellectually, the I is for intellectual. What are you reading in this time? What have you been reading in this time? I've been coached by Les Brown, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, and he encouraged us to read 35 pages a day, because you've got to feed your mind, because it's most of it, 85% approximately, is mindset. It's about fixing your mindset, getting this right, because if you don't believe in building your empire and being successful, whatever that looks like for you, it's not going to happen. If you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in your business, your vision, where you're going, your purpose, it's not really going to come to pass. So that's why it's important to believe in what you are doing. Believe and you will achieve. So that's really important. And then the E is about emotional. How are you balancing your emotional well-being, especially in a global pandemic where over 50 million people have lost their jobs? There's hopelessness, suicide on the increase. So many things are taking place. What are you doing to address that balance of your emotional well-being? And then there's the S. There's 2 S's. There's the social, and I know we're socially distancing, But I say we're physically distancing because socially we are still connecting like we're connecting now. And we can connect on Zoom, we can call each other, we can text each other. We're physically distancing, but yet we can still connect with people. And that's really important, to reach out. And then also your spiritual well-being. How are you connect with your spiritual well-being? So it's your physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. Once you can address that balance, we're good to go. Yes, sometimes we're a little bit wonky donkey, but as long as we identify it and take the action to do something about it, and that's very important. And the next thing that helps me along my journey as being an entrepreneur is listing my priorities. And that's why I think is very important, is listing the priorities. I think I mentioned that before, but that's very helpful to list those priorities. Because, and also, like I said, make sure you're a priority, because I did some research, Harvard Business Review, and they conducted some research on entrepreneurs, and 28% have burnout. Why? Because like we said, doing too much. Think we're, if you do 100,000 things in one day, we're champions, and we're, look at me, look at me. But it's not about being like that. It's about, the key word for me through this lockdown, and I want you to write this down, consistency. Being consistent. Showing up for your clients, showing up for yourself every morning, waking up and like jumping out in your day, yes, and doing what you need to do. Because you're going to be productive. Why? Because you have a list. You've listed what you need to do. You put things in priority order. And you're looking after your pies, your physical, intellectual, emotional, and social well-being and spiritual. So this is one of the things that we need to be doing. We don't want burnout. And the next thing is, what I think is really key, no multitasking.
I get very guilty of this one.
So I can be very guilty of this because I've got lots of things to do next week, and I'm like, do this presentation, start on this training, finish this, and then when you realize you haven't really done anything, you haven't really progressed much throughout the day. So I'm challenging you as an entrepreneur. Multitasking doesn't always work. So it's what it is that you need to do, and do that thing well and finish it, and then move on to the next thing. This is why it's good to plan ahead as entrepreneurs. What is it that I need to do? This is how you're going to get the maximum out of your day. We all have 24 hours in the day, right? But it's about how we manage our activities. And that's what's important, managing your activities. And when you're taking these steps and doing these things and being consistent, not just trying it for a week, because once you're doing these steps and you're doing them consistently, they're going to become habits, and then it's going to become your lifestyle. So that's very important, because what you don't want to do is, as I said before, cram things in, because that is going to be very detrimental to you and your business. And the next thing is to be realistic. As an entrepreneur, you've got to be, you're laughing at this.
Oh my God, that is such a mean thing to say in a way.
You've got to be realistic. And that's very important. Can I do these 40 things that I've put on my list for today? No, I can't. I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock and I'm going to finish at 8 at night. Let's be realistic. I've been consistent through the lockdown since March till now. And I'm married. I've been married for 20 years. I have 2 teenage children. My daughter's 18. My son's 14. And I'm a very busy person. But I've ensured that I have a schedule. I prioritize. I take time out for myself. Try to. Okay. And then making sure. Not multitasking. And being realistic in what I need to achieve and accomplish. Because I have a family, I have my children, and I also look after myself, my business, my husband, etc., etc. So it's about being realistic. What can I achieve today? And taking stock of that. So that's a very, very big key, because you don't want to get stressed out, feeling overwhelmed. And it's so hard as an entrepreneur at times where you feel you're on your own. You feel, can I make it? Can I do it? But I'm here to encourage you. It's possible. People have gone before you and have been successful and have done it and achieved serving who they've come to serve. I help unfulfilled professional women get unstuck and live their purpose, achieve their goals, and just live life on purpose, for their purpose, whatever that is for them. And it's possible. You can do it. You've got to believe that you can do it, and it is possible. And that's what I want to encourage you today. And that leads me nicely onto asking for help. Ask for help. As an entrepreneur, sometimes we're doing everything. You're doing the admin, you're doing the social media, you're doing the promoting, you're doing the challenges, you're sorting out programs, you're writing this for this artist, you're doing so many different things, and it can get overwhelming. But if you're feeling like that, don't struggle alone, because most times what people will do then is give up. And then that business has been left to the side. But remember, we all have a purpose. We've all come to do what we've come to do. And we've come to serve others. And if you're not in your position and serving, who's going to do it? Who's going to do what you were called to do? So I'm encouraging you, as an entrepreneur, if you need that support and help, reach out. This is an amazing community and a supportive space that Abby has built that can help you. Reach out to Abby. Put in the group, does anybody know how to do this? Can anybody support me in that? Family, friends, whoever it is, reach out. It's so important. And don't feel embarrassed. Do not feel embarrassed. We've all been in places where we need help. I need help. And I know it can be hard if you're not used to communicating in that way. But I've learned that I can't do everything. Tanya can't do everything. So I call on people who I know.
You're a human being.
That's it. We're human. And I will call on people. I'll go, hey, Abby, I'm not sure how to do this. Can you help me? Oh, so can you help me do this? Because you're playing to your strengths. I'm not good at everything. And I'm just like social media, posting and doing all that. I'm like, oh my gosh, need to outsource that one. Give that to somebody else. But it's about asking for help. Who's in your circle? Who's around you that can support you and give you that? Because that's very important. So asking for help. Because remember, you don't want to feel overwhelmed. And there's another tip I've got, Abby, another tip. As an entrepreneur, like I said, doing all these things, what you need to do, be productive, get the most out of your day, knowing it's possible. Yes, I can achieve my goals. Yes, I can achieve my dreams. Yes, I can build my empire. I've got people around me to support me. I'm doing my priorities. I've got my morning routines. I've got everything going on. I'm doing it and I'm building. I'm looking after myself. I'm taking time out for me. I'm prioritizing myself. However, this is a big key that I want you to use. I want you to write this down. Have a not to do list. Because sometimes we can just get caught up in the list. I challenge you, and I want you to get in touch with me. If this works and this chat and this resonates with you, a not to do list. That's powerful right there. Something that I don't need to do that. I don't need to, and just look through your list. Actually, I don't need to do that, and that right now, because it's not important. I don't need to do that, because sometimes we can fill our days, but we're not really being productive and getting the most out of our day. So I challenge you, and I'm really encouraging you to have this not to do list. I'm not going to do that today. I don't need to do that today. But always think about your priorities and what it is that you need to do, but also look at what you don't need to do. Because sometimes we can get caught up doing. But have a look at what you don't need to do. And there's some books that I recommend. 2 books, and these are best-selling books. You might have them already. You might have them on the bookshelf. You might have them in your app store, ready to read, haven't read them yet. And if you've read them, I'm encouraging you, I'm challenging you. I love throwing out challenges, is to read it again. Don't just read a book once and put it down. Read that book, read it again, take some notes, and then reread it. Because sometimes when you're rereading things are going to pop out at you and think, oh, I didn't see that before. Write the things down and take action. That's the biggest thing that I encourage you as entrepreneurs, is to take action in whatever it is that you need to do. I'm going to start scheduling. I'll start scheduling tomorrow. No, you know what? I'm going to start doing it on Monday. No, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it today. That's important. I look at my priorities. Oh, I'll start on Monday. No, do it now. That's really important. So the book I recommend is Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That's a fantastic book to read as an entrepreneur. And also Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. That's an amazing book as well. And those books about being productive and getting the most out of your day. And that's going to help. And one I've just thrown for free is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And you may have read it. And like I said, read them again. Be a lifelong learner. Schedule in your day time to read. Because it's about your mindset. What are you listening to? What are you watching? And that is all about mindset, getting in gear. And that's going to help you be more productive. And that's the key to your success. So what you need to do is to keep on keeping on. And as Brian Tracy said, there are no limits on what you can achieve. No limits whatsoever, except the limits that we put on our minds. We get in the way. We get in the way. So we need to get out of our own way. Our mindset's getting it right and doing what you need to do. Take those tips, read over them, start implementing them in your day, and do what you need to do as an entrepreneur. And that is the way you're going to get productive and get the most out of your day. I hope those tips were useful for you.
Yeah, they were very useful. I actually like them. I wrote lots of notes as you're speaking. Actually, I was typing some as you're speaking. So here's a recap if anyone got lost. So the first tip was prepare a schedule. And she had suggested doing that like the night before. Like what you do is prepare a schedule the night before for the entire week. And then break down what needs to get done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And after preparing a schedule, prioritize what needs to get done. So look at, from my schedule, what's more important, what's urgent, what is actually going to drive value to my client and to my business. Start with that first. And then no multitasking. Instead of doing, I'm going to do this and this at the same time, this will take little time, so I can just combine it with this, it'll get done together. No, then start with one, finish that, and then go to the next one. This I am guilty of because I tend to procrastinate. I get to multitask a lot. I kind of like see it as a challenge. What can I combine and do at the same time? Like, challenge accepted. That's me. So I'll try to do that. Number 4 was be realistic about what you can and cannot accomplish. Like, I know people say like aim for the stars and aim for the sky, but like start from the ground first. Aim for that, get that done, and then you can aim higher afterwards. Number 5 was ask for help. You are a human being. You literally cannot do everything. You can't handle everything yourself. So ask for help. This is a community. There are lots of amazing entrepreneurs, and you can find some in some Facebook groups. You can find someone for her empire. You can find Tarnya as well. But don't sort of take it all on yourself like it's a burden I must carry. Like, no, it's not. Reach out to others. Like, if you're so frustrated, you feel so lonely, Instagram is there, Facebook groups are there. There are lots of lovely female entrepreneurs that you can send a message to. I know it can be a bit intimidating sometimes, emailing somebody out of the blue, but like, you need help. What do you have to lose anyway? Just ask them for help.
That's it.
Then number 6 was have a not to-do list. So from your to-do list, just have things that you don't really need to get, that doesn't need to get done immediately. You're not very good at, or it's not something you're in a space to take on yourself. Things you can actually do later, or things you can delegate to somebody else. Because if you want to be productive, then doing things that you don't have to do, that's gonna really mess with the productivity. That's why you have like 15 things on your task when you only need to do 5. Other 10 are just occupying space. You don't have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a nice recap.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. They recommended 2 books. The first was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, and Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy.
Yes.
Oh. Yay! I feel like a good student right now. Yeah.
That's good.
So you've taught us a lot, and we know you've written books on motivation. You are a coach. You are a speaker. So for someone who wants to work with you, how can they work with you, and what do you help them with?
Okay, if they need support, guidance, accountability, help them get unstuck because you're feeling overwhelmed, not sure what the next steps are, you're procrastinating. I've just had a client actually procrastinating for a while on her book, and she joined the 30-day challenge with me this June, a lovely lady from Texas. And I was so proud. Last Sunday, she posted the book to me. Well, it arrived. I had the physical copy, and I was proud to say that I helped her along her journey to achieve her, to get her book out there. And that's a big thing, to be able to hold somebody's hand and help them through the process, because I wrote my book Open Doors in 6 weeks. So I give people how did I do that? And I give people the steps on how they can also achieve what they need to achieve. So if you want to work with me, you can email me at tanya@ibelieveIcan.co.uk, or you can pop along on my website, ibelieveIcan.co.uk, and you can go on there and schedule some time with me. You can have a free 15-minute consultation with me and look at how we can work together. I do one-to-one coaching, for a 6-month coaching program, and then I also do a group coaching program and a 30-day mindset challenge. So those are the 3 packages that I offer. And if you need that support and guidance to get you unstuck, to achieve the results that you want to achieve in your life and live life on purpose and be all that you are destined and called to be, get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to serve you to get where you need to get to.
Woo! And I need to add like an option for like a party, I need to add an option. Yeah. But yeah, it's been so nice talking to you. It's actually gone a bit overboard. It's almost 34 minutes, but we've learned a lot. The 6 tips were very actionable and very helpful and very realistic, which is one of the tips actually.
Yes.
Very realistic. So I like how it's a realistic approach on how we really are as entrepreneurs. We try to take on so much by ourselves, and we try to be busy all the time, even though it's not productive. And so I really like the motivational tips centered around productivity. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh my God. Bye. Oh my God. Okay.